And so hyper religiosity for me ended up looking like, especially in marriage, looked like trying to pray through. Can I be? Am I allowed to be honest on this?
This is a very honest podcast. I'm telling you. So yes, I
Okay.
want you to be. Mhm.
I especially post the like finding out because I learned in pieces about the infidelity, but hyper religiosity had me praying about things that I probably should have been cussing about. And that sounds crazy. That sounds
No, it
crazy
does.
on the surface, right? And it sounds ungodly to say that. But my point in that is it causes you to do spiritual bypassing where you're like, oh, well, Lord, pray to change his heart. Instead of using the wisdom that God gave you to be like,
Yeah.
this ain't right. This is not okay. And no matter how much, and I'm gonna be honest, there is only so much redemption that can happen in the life of a person when they're not willing to change. Like God is not going to bypass his will. God is not going to bypass this man's desire to not be with me. So there's no I'm wasting prayers on my marriage when I should have been trying to strategically look at, Lord, what do I need? I never asked, and nobody ever asked, and he never asked, of course, what do I need? Like, how do I heal through this whole thing? Hyper religious was like, let me put my emotions to the side. And maybe if
Mhm.
I pray every morning, and if I, enough, maybe God will change his mind.
Right.
All the while, my emotional needs, my emotional well-being was neglected, right? And so and because I had to keep secrets, I didn't have a lot of people that were available to me during that time, not because they wouldn't have wanted to, but because I didn't want to tell them, because if we
You
looked in
wanna tell
person,
'em. Yeah.
then what? Right? And so it keeps you bound. And so I took a lot of responsibility for his mistakes. Maybe I wasn't this enough. Maybe I did. And then I was like, well, I'm his wife, so I have to cover him. Although that's not even biblical, right? I'm not the covering between the two of us. I can cover you, but you are the covering. And so if I am uncovered, I need to find shelter. It is not for me to now try and cover you. But that's just what I believe, you know? And so, and there are some times where God does grace us to cover people in their mistakes,
Yeah.
right? There are times
Right.
God does say, like, hey, let me strengthen you this way, but I was not okay. I didn't have the strength to be his covering in that moment. And the more that I tried to cover him, the more uncovered I was and available to things like shame, depression, anxiety, just poor decisions, like just wanting to feel love, desperation. And so being hyper religious will cause you to abandon yourself and what you need and where God can meet you because you're just trying to put the picture back together right.